Well, welcome everybody back to the Flying Doghouse. We're going to take a look at a brand new aircraft that's available in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 in this video. We're going to look at the Cessna 400. So we're going to talk about some characteristics, a little bit of history, let you guys know what I have found in terms of a few issues in the aircraft. And then we'll proceed to do a cold and dark start in the aircraft, and we'll have a bit of a fly. So to that end, what would you want to know about the Cessna 400? It's a very fast aircraft. It's built of primarily all composite body construction, so that's kind of cool. Manufactured from 2004 to 2018. Originally built by an aircraft company called Columbia that was subsequently acquired by Cessna. The aircraft is powered by a Continental TSIO 550C engine. It's very sleek looking, very fast, very fun to fly actually in the sim. So we'll have that to enjoy here in a bit. All right, what else would you want to know? So, pilot crew of 1, passenger capacity is 3, aircraft length 25 feet 2 inches, wingspan 36 feet 1 inch, height 9 feet 0 inches. Wing area is 141 square feet. Empty weight 2,500 pounds. Maximum takeoff weight 3,600 pounds. And we've already mentioned the engine. And let's list out a few performance characteristics of the plane. So maximum speed 275 miles an hour or 435 knots. Cruising speed 270 miles an hour. It will get up and move. Stall speed, a nice and comfortable 68 miles an hour. Range of about 1,100 nautical miles. Service ceiling is 25,000 feet. And a very, very healthy rate of climb, 1,500 feet a minute. So there we go. Good intro stats here on the aircraft itself. So we'll jump over in the sim to an airport, and we'll jump in the cockpit, and we'll do a cold and dark start. Okay, we're sitting on the ramp at First Flight Kitty Hawk in the Cessna 400, and I have the EFB loaded in the sim. And we're going to jump outside the aircraft here in just a minute, and we'll go ahead and do our walk around, and then we will finish that up and then pause, and then we'll have a takeoff. So fly a little bit of a circuit here and land, and share some thoughts about the aircraft at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and jump outside the airplane, and we will switch over to the sim. Okay, so I do have the EFB pulled up and looking at the checklist, which I think is very well done for this particular plane. At any rate, take advantage of these views. So they are helpful. So at any rate, let's jump outside. All right. We'll see how the controller is going to cooperate here. Having some issues with it today. One of the things I have noticed is we've got some incredible levitations taking place inside the sim, so they're a little bit amusing. At any rate, each of the aircraft that we have in the sim does have its own set of startup procedures. And crouch down here. See if we can get this to actually recognize my mouse click. So this has been problematic for me with this particular plane. It has been quite fiddly. Alright, let's try the uncrouch. There we go. Got the engine covers done. And we got the chocks removed. Let's try the pitot cover again. Oh, now it's going to work. Okay. Alright, so there are other inspection points that you can venture around. And I've got the checklist up here, but that's okay. We're going to need it here in just a second. So you can go through and do your physical checks of the ailerons and the rudder and tire condition. I'm going to skip those for now, and let's jump back in the plane. Shift C. Okay. All right, so chocks taken care of. We'll mark all of these. Good. We did take care of the engine cover. Make sure your fuel cap is on. Don't want all of your precious fuel being sucked out of the tank with a loose cap. All right. So at any rate, you can walk that part of the setup, and we will switch to before starting the engine, that part of the checklist, so we can mark pre-flight inspection complete. And let's go take a look at this big fuel selector knob here. So we'll go to the left tank. And we do have fuel in the aircraft. Fuel selector is good. The avionics, battery, and all those other fun switches are up top. It is off. So we're good in that regard. So we'll go ahead and mark that. And hardware-wise, I do have my parking brakes on, so I did that from the hardware side of the house. Okay, so that looks good. We know that the parking brake is set. We were just messing with that. Again, we are taking advantage of the camera views that were built with the checklist. All right, so mixture needs to go to full rich. Prop needs to go to 100%. And we will take care of those. Throttle needs to be cracked by 1/4 of an inch, so we will do that now. We are already down here on the floor, so we can go ahead and turn the strobe light on and nav light on. The fuel pump we can cut on for just a second or two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll cut that off. Battery switch, it's up top. And this will help us with our startup sequence. I would go ahead and mark these complete. Avionics master switch can come on. All right. Now we'll need to hit the magneto switch. And it is not working as I would expect, so it's a bit buggy. But that's your cold and dark start for the moment. I did submit a bug report to Microsoft with respect to the animation with the magneto switch key not doing what it needs to do. At any rate, I think we're good. Let's jump outside the airplane here for a sec. go. I really like this eclectic livery. It's pretty neat. And we'll use it today. And we can jump back inside the plane. Okay, so it looks like we've got what we need here. Shift space bar to put ourselves back in the appropriate spot in the pilot seat. There's our co-pilot that we can't get rid of, so he's the guest that won't leave at the moment. All right. I think we're ready to have our fly here. So just to save some time and energy, and for you not to have to watch me taxi, I'm going to pause the video here for a moment, and I will rejoin you when we're at the end of the runway. So back in just a minute. Okay, we've made our way over to the runway. So we will switch back to our sim view. Okay, so we're sitting on the runway ready for departure. We'll start our departure brawl here in just a second. I do think it's important to sort of roll through and take a look at the built-in cameras. So we will do that together. So this is camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are fairly well done. But at any rate, this will give you an idea in terms of what you might want to consider in terms of creating your own custom camera views. And I think we are ready to roll here. Ground handling wise, it's fairly benign, as you would expect. You know, it's tricycle gear here, so we're not dealing with a tail dragger. It does drop a wing on a stall, so we'll take off. We'll make a quick circuit here and then land, and then we'll talk about at least my initial reaction to this particular aircraft. So at any rate, I think we're ready to roll. Let's go. And parking brake is now off, and we will start our takeoff roll. And we're coming up. No gear to worry about, and I did take off with no flap. Recommendation in terms of configuration for flight, and the checklist would have you drop one level of flap here for takeoff. But we were fine. Alright, come back on the RPM here since we're sitting in the red. And let's jump outside the plane. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, this plane will get up and move. They're definitely a good choice for group flights that are longer distances if you want to shorten the time for that particular activity. And it does fly nicely. There really are no surprises. Alright, we'll make our way here. We'll just climb and add a little bit of altitude. We'll do a stall test here out over the ocean. We're at a vertical speed rate of about 1650 to 1700 feet per minute. And I will just progressively start increasing our angle of attack as we get closer and closer to about 2,700 feet. Alright, there's our stall warning. And I'm continuing to add back pressure. And it should drop the left wing. There we go. And you can see how benign that is. It's really not trying to kill you. Alright, so we can come back on our throttles here. We're almost down to Jockey Ridge State Park already, so we'll turn in here. Make our way back over to the to our departure airfield. Again, no real surprises here. The interior looks good. Layout is fine. The only thing that I have found again so far really is the buggy operation of the magnetos. Otherwise, this seems to be fine. I'd be interested to hear what you think. Drop your comments in the comment sections on the video. I do think I am zoning in on at least having my particular PC's configuration sort of sorted out. In all fairness to Microsoft, I do think the patch that they rolled out this week has helped a fair bit with a few things that I was experiencing. I am not going to be in the camp of making excuses for the vendor because this is a complex endeavor. This should have been cleaner. And I know people like to say they lived through 2020 to sort of temper the frustration level. But the reality is that Microsoft should have learned a lesson from 2020 and not repeated the same series of mistakes. All right, we're still too high here, so I'm gonna teardrop and loop around here while we continue to burn off some more altitude and some airspeed, and get myself into landing configuration here as well. At any rate, I am not a negative Nancy, but I do believe in lessons learned activities. So I hope in the future that Microsoft rethinks how they're going to release things like 2024 and not add this much frustration to the community, because I think we all love flying, right? That's why we're doing this. And we don't really want to spend our time fighting an unnecessary battle. Anyway. All right. So enough of that. On a positive note, while we're making our way in, is this aircraft sim-worthy? Absolutely. I think it's going to be a plane that I'll be using on some group flights. So I think it's fun. There are no glaring issues here, at least with me. But again, would love to hear what what everybody else thinks. And go way down here. Not too shabby for a first attempt here. Could have been smoother. That's what happens when you conversate instead of aviate. But at any rate, I've said this before, I'll say it again. This is not a check ride. This is an overview of the plane. All right. We are now clear of the runway. We'll get that parking brake on here. Hopefully the video has been a benefit to you. You learned something about the history of the aircraft and what you can expect if you choose to take it for a fly in 2024. Please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you along for other content that we'll be publishing. We're also on Discord, so you're more than welcome to join us there as well. If you're interested in a virtual airline, Virtual Flight Online is the place to go on the internet for virtual airline activities. Wholeheartedly recommend that. Great group of folks there. We also host group flight activities on the regular. So if you like flying with others to lots of different places across the world, that's a good place to go as well. All right. So again, join us on Discord at the Flying Doghouse, and the link is on our homepage on YouTube. And I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully everybody is keeping well. Until next time. Cheers, y'all.